Yo, what's up? This is Callie from Cloudkill out here with Dead Stark. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So you came all the way out to LA and stayed for quite a while, huh?
Yeah, I'm still here and I'll be here for another week, but I've been here for like 3 weeks and it feels like 3 months. Got a lot of shit done this little trip. It's jam packed with all kinds of activity.
Yeah, you said you got about a year's worth of work done in about 3 weeks or so.
That's what it feels like. And like all the sleep, well, I'll have to catch up on that when I get back home.
Yeah, I feel it. So, where do you come from?
Well, originally I actually do come from California. I was born in Truckee in Lake Tahoe, but then I moved to like Central Coast and that's where I like grew up. So like Monterey area.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came down here, tried to like make it or whatever, and was like couch hopping, and this was years ago. And I lived here for a little bit, and then I bounced around a little, and then I went to a music school down here in 2016 called Icon, and I was actually kind of doing like EDM stuff for a minute because I've dabbled in all kinds of genres over the years. But at that point, I had like an epiphany being like, I wanted to be a songwriter, really. Like, I didn't want to be in the EDM world, really. Not a DJ, I'm like a vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I was still living in LA. So basically, I'm a California kid. But after that, COVID hit, and I moved up into the woods of Washington, and that's where I've been the past couple years. So I'm not from Washington, but that's like my new home base.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm really a Cali kid, but fucking West Coast in general. I'm from Washington right now.
That's what's up. Yeah, you said you were out in the woods for this last, like, what, 2 years now, just making music and creating a bunch of stuff. And you have so much under your belt, not only stuff that you've done before, but the new stuff that you're working on as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that, you know what I'm saying? I think I can always work faster and like, you know, cut the dead weight out or whatever. I'm always trying to be more efficient with my time and energy. And moving to Washington definitely helped me eliminate like a lot of distractions and shit. When I lived out here in LA before I moved to Washington, I was pretty productive and I'd already been dead stark and but once I left, like a bunch of shit changed and it's not like it was a good thing, but in a way there's pros and cons to everything, right? And so moving up there, the pros are that nothing really costs money. There's no distractions
Yeah.
and I have a lot of space and time to incubate stuff and make music. And I literally recorded like 70 tracks and released like 50 of them since then in just a 2 year time or 2 year time span. So that was good. Um, but it was time to come back to LA because, like I said, there's pros and cons to both. And for me, I need a little of both. You know, the connection and the networking in the city that this city specifically brings to LA, and then going out to the woods, which is literally polar opposite, is like my incubator where I can like just be distraction free and just like go in on the art itself.
Yeah, it gives you more time to create and, do your thing. How long have you been doing music, and how would you describe your music, like, if you had a way to describe it?
Well, well, let's cover the how long question first. I have been doing music for like, not to sound old, but for 20 years plus because I just turned 30 uh, and I started playing guitar when I was 9. So, and then I was like, before any of the social media stuff, like before social media was a thing, and I was like in a band in high school, even in middle school, but like high school was like my band days. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was the lead singer and lead guitarist of this little like cover slash blues band as a freshman, junior in high school, freshman, sophomore, junior. I mean, and then I kind of got into hip hop beats back then, and it was like only on GarageBand and shit. Started making beats with my homies back then, and it got on Logic by like I want to say 2010, 2011. I started like producing for my hometown homies and like rapping with them. But I come from a small town, so there wasn't much of a opportunity or a scene there. But still, we were like running up our skills and making lots of tracks back then. And then I fucking did the EDM thing, like I said, because some of my homies at that time inspired me because it was a new genre at the time. They're like, "Yo," because we were making hip hop beats together, and they were just like, "Yo, check this out," and it was like some dubstep shit, which I at that point had actually previously heard dubstep and I didn't like it. You know what I mean? And the homie just put me onto the right kind of dubstep at that time.
Hmm.
So I was like into like learning to produce, and like I already knew like basic hip hop production, you know, loops and just trap beat samples and stuff. But then getting into the EDM thing was like a whole new thing, a learning curve thing. So it definitely helped me up my production game, my skill set. And then getting out of it was like refreshing to come back into hip hop with all these new subgenres that existed now, like, and essentially now like I'm producing all my own shit thanks to being able to go through all that. I play guitar in all my songs because of all that. Because I started as a guitarist, I sing on my songs, I write on my songs. And then what was the next question? Like, how would I
How
describe
would
my
you describe it? Because, like you were saying, it's very mixed genre, but at the same time, it does always fall under the rap category.
Right. So that's funny because like basically based on everything I just like said about my history, it's basically a mix a little bit of everything. Probably least amount EDM right now because
Right.
there's a lot of like guitar samples, which is comes back from me being like guitarist in a band, and like I play all my own samples, and like the hip hop production and all that. But like it really meshes like a grunge with like a new trap vibe with like sometimes blues and even R&B, and like some people even think like reggae and ska sometimes. I don't know, I just kind of mix a bunch of influences together and I have a hard time like actually categorizing it, but like you could call it like soft alternative grunge wave. I don't
Yeah, non-genre is actually a big thing that's going on around right now. Some people don't like it, but I actually think it's a pretty cool way to describe people's music. If you're kind of influenced on a bunch of different things, like you have a collective of, different stuff, it's
I like
awesome.
that.
I think it's cool. I think it's really creative and artistic, and it shows different highlights of the artist, what you can do. So,
Yeah, I like that. I didn't really even know that, but it makes sense in this day and age.
mm-hmm.
There's so many people blending so many sounds now. Anything that's ever existed is like blending with anything else. Like any you blend like country with gospel or like anybody can make any kind of music now because it's all been like it's all categorized in music history and it's all accessible because of the internet and social media. So these young kids will go back and like listen to like classic rock and Pink Floyd and shit, and they're still influenced by that. And then they hit the trap beats and like fusion nowadays is just crazy. It's
Yeah,
kind of like food. Like there's all this fusion food out here in LA. I was like, oh yeah, it reminds me of the music scene. It's like if you can think of it and put it into existence, then there will be a lane for it. You know what I mean?
definitely. Definitely. So, what's new? Excuse me.
It's new. Well, a lot's new. As you know, I played a show. So I'm when I first flew in, I played that Cloud Kill show, which went up, gang.
Hey.
And
Yeah, that show was awesome.
but really, like that's just part of what's new. I'm like planning shows again since COVID happened, and I was in the woods. It was like this whole. But then I'm also like, I'm always releasing. So I have an album dropping on the 23rd,
Mm-hmm.
and another self-produced album with no collabs or anything, because that's kind of what I've been doing. Is like, I kind of told everybody that I'm gonna release 100 tracks without any collabs or producers, and then collabs will start happening and shit. So really, what's new is I'm just trying to release the rest of this by 2022. I got one album with 10 tracks that drops right before Thanksgiving, and then I got one more EP with 5 tracks that drops right before Christmas. At which point I'll hit the 100 mark, and then in 2022 I'll start rolling out the collabs and stuff. But basically, what's new is I'm just trying to plan everything out from the collabs, the shows, the self releases, and a lot of networking around here. I mean, coming back to LA, I kind of forgot like how much networking can be done if you look in the right places. Like I said, I haven't had much time to sleep, but it's fine because I'm really fucking like getting work done while I'm out here. So basically, what's new is just new music. Got another show on Tuesday before I fucking fly out on Saturday,
Mm.
and gonna plan more shows. Gonna try to start planning shows in Texas and in Florida and even in Washington where I'm at. So what's new is I'm just keeping it moving, and the new music. If you wanna peep that when it comes out, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And also did start cartooning this year, and it's been a big thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a big thing for me anyway. Like it was a whole new thing that can help me like link with people, like because I haven't been doing music collabs, like the cartoon thing allowed me to like link with people and be like, hey, you want like me to do a cartoon for your video or whatever. And so that's definitely new. It's a whole new in for me, that's for sure.
Yeah, so how would you describe your animation? You've been doing these cartoons. You do like you did our flyer, and then you've also done like little videos as well.
I'm solo all alone on my own in my zone. Ain't nobody in my phone anymore. I might as well just change my number, and this time I won't transfer my contact. I wonder if anybody will wonder if I'm coming back.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, like I'm very DIY, but I was trying to, like last year, I was trying to find other people to do animation for me because I really wanted to do some animated videos. And after like trial and error with some people, it was like really discouraging. Nobody was able to do what I wanted them to do, and for the price or whatever, or in the time frame, or and it's not like I asked. It was just people would agree to do stuff and then fall through. They'd be like, "Yeah, I got you for this price and this time frame on a cartoon video." And literally after like 3 or 4 animators, none of them were able to do it. And I don't know
Hmm.
why. So I just kind of was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna teach myself to cartoon." And I just started testing out apps. Like I didn't even get nothing on my computer. I just started testing out little apps, and this one I use is Flip a Clip on my phone, and it's so easy. I just like kind of started obsessing over it. So I decided to like test run it and make myself a music video, and like that was the first one that came out called Single, and like it actually dropped twice. It dropped on this channel that got deleted, and then they regrew their channel and dropped it again. Um, and then anyway, so that song is called Single, and that started gaining some traction. Like I don't know, I just started sending the video around to the homies in the squad, and like it just led to more opportunities. And then next thing you know, like I came down here, and I just did a video for Eddie Baker and Young Cortex, and I got some more in the works, but I don't want to actually say who yet. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
working on some pretty big videos, and I'm lucky to be in contact with these people. So my goal is to not drop the ball like those other animators. They give me an opportunity, I'm gonna jump through the hoop and show them that I'm like gonna stick to my word and do the thing how I said I was gonna do it. Plus, it's just really fun to be one of the like a lot of people are out here filming and taking photos, but it's really rare that someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, I want to like do a cartoon for you."
Hmm.
So it just kind of opened more doors. Like, and I wasn't even thinking that far ahead. I was just like, I want to do cartoon videos for people and for myself, and that was the extent of it, and it just kind of took off. So
Right on. Well, let's touch a little bit about the show at Cloud Kill Sad Solstice. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad that you guys all came out. We had like 3 or 4 guys that flew out, including you, out of state, and it went up. It definitely went up. There, I has a lot of good vibes, and there was a lot of people there, so it was a lot of fun.
it definitely went up. Wasn't quite sure what to expect. I knew it would be fun, but like I said, I hadn't played a show in 2 years, and the buzz was real for everyone, and